Joining us for Human Resources. It's October 17th, 2024, and 10 a.m. In attendance are Commissioners Matari, Brooks, and Duncan. Are there changes to the agenda? Yes, I do have one, and it's an emergency item. It would be KCSO separation and release agreement with an executive session. We have to make a decision today due to time-sensitive matter. Payroll is ending on Saturday, and so we need to make sure that this is approved ahead of time, and it'll be ratified on Tuesday. So with that, any questions on that?
No, I move that we add the separation and release agreement along with the executive session 74-2061B.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, with that, public comment? Okay, and then item 1, we have several things to handle in executive session, so we'll get through the first 2 items, then go into executive session and come out and discuss the further items. So this is America 250 and Idaho Grant Program, and it was added to this meeting because it is due on Sunday. And so, Jonathan, I don't have the most up-to-date thing. Did Historic Preservation decide to... Oh, you want to speak to it? Come on up, please. Is Mr. Mueller? Okay, yeah. So
Push the
push,
little button there.
yep, push the little button on the thing, and you're good.
There you go.
Thank you.
Rock and roll, lights green, ready to
Yes.
go? Okay,
Okay.
good morning. Jonathan gave us a call last Friday and notified myself and Courtney, our former last year's chair, of this program. And nobody had really heard about it. On our commission is a fellow by the name of Walter Burns. He is the chair of the Coeur d'Alene Commission. He had not heard of it either. And so we sprang into action and have been working feverishly to put together a grant to respond to the America 250. And it sort of aligns with our discussion about the celebration of the centennial of the courthouse, and also, interestingly enough, it aligns with the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And so we're seeking funding to establish the founding of a local network of historic places, including signage markers and interpretive content, and also alongside that, a passport program to enhance heritage tourism to local historic sites and create a network of places. And of course, I think you're aware that we received a grant from SHPO to do a historic preservation plan, which is completed now, and you should have a copy of. Inside that plan are goals that relate to this effort, the establishment of the network, and also to create and maintain countywide historic preservation network and enhance tourism as a result of that. So what we're trying to do is identify properties, and we have 10 in mind for this local network, the first of which will be the courthouse as part of that celebration, and to establish markers. Excuse me, just came back from a trip back east, and something came home on the plane with me, so I'm not contagious, but I'm over it. If I start
Sure.
coughing here, just hang with me here. So, of course, one of our foundational properties is the courthouse, and which we hope to have that celebration in 2026 that will finish up with the July 4th date, which is also the date in which all these grant projects have to be completed. So there are entities all over Idaho that are requesting funds, and so we hope to have that commemoration and have this first marker as part of a larger system of unified or consistent markers that we'll place around the county, and then to begin to start this historic tourism network. And so we have identified properties in Spirit Lake, Post Falls, Rathdrum, Harrison, Worley, and Farragut State Park and Bayview as being possible to be included in this as well. And so the funding for the grants is up to about $25,000. Courtney has been working with this along with Lori Mauser and myself. I've been providing cost information, and so we hope to have this ready to go out Sunday night and we'll coordinate with Jonathan to get the information to you if signature is required, but we would ask today for your endorsement to move forward with this.
Sure. So essentially what we're saying is this grant application period, the grants are due Sunday.
Correct.
And so that's all it is. So we are not in obligation to take the grant if it is awarded. And my understanding is the reporting for the grant is minimal and that your Historic Preservation Commission can
Yeah, we
comply
believe
with
we
the
can
grant.
handle that. The match on the grant is 10%, and in-kind hours from our commission can be used to meet that match. And so we think the paperwork is pretty simple.
Sure.
for
And the
this one.
reporting requirements, I think, are very minimal.
Yes, correct.
Yes. Okay.
That's my term, paperwork, so
Yes.
reporting, yeah, okay.
Perfect. Okay. Any questions on this? So this is just approval of a grant application.
I understand. How much are we talking about?
At last discussion with Courtney, and she's still working, we were in the 22,000 to the max, which is 25,000. So our 10% match would come to 2,500 in that, and we think either with funds on hand or our own personal time, that we could match that very easily. So there's not a major burden here as we see it.
Okay.
Any questions?
How much do you get paid?
Me? Nothing.
I know. I just wanted to have that on the record. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you. And in the old planning commission days, we'd get asked that, and we'd say nothing, and they say, "Are you guys crazy? Why are you doing this?" And we do it, and our commission does it because we're, pretty excited about where we're headed with the
Thank
work
you.
of the commission.
Thank you very
So,
much.
All right. So is there a motion?
I move that we approve the application process for the America 250 in Idaho grant program with the BOCC.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right.
okay,
Thank you
other
so much for
questions
coming
while
in.
I'm here about the commission, or,
No,
at some point, I would like to maybe have a review with you, or at the end of the year or the first of the
Yeah.
year, about what we've been up to and the things we've been doing.
Yep,
Just to
that'd be
check
great.
in with you, see if you have any comments for us, or any direction, or any criticisms.
Right. You
Yep.
mentioned the plan, so I was planning on going through that. When are we scheduled to accept it formally? So when,
Well, we have submitted copies to Jonathan.
Yes.
It's been printed. And so what kind of time would you like to look at it and have us come back to you?
if 2 weeks isn't too long, then that would be sufficient for me.
So that would put us around the first of the month?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll coordinate with Jonathan and we'll be back.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else today?
That's it.
Thanks.
All right. Appreciate it.
Shut this off or leave it on?
You shut off. Thank you. All right, item 2, initial classification evaluation. This is a potential new position, Deputy Director of Operations for our community development. And Sylvia.
Yes, Sylvia Proud for the record. Per the board's direction on October 3rd at the HR meeting, HR conducted a initial classification and evaluation of the position for community development titled Deputy Director of Operations. And we utilize the Korn Ferry job evaluation method that our staff has been trained in by Korn Ferry. And the proposed grade that HR has determined is a grade 15. And when we looked at the sore thumbing of this position against other positions within the county, we have 2 within community development, the chief building officer and the manager of planning, that are a grade 14. So this position would have to be above that, at least to the grade 15 level. We also looked at other positions, chief deputies and other directors to do some comparisons to, and that's how we landed at the grade 15. So we're doing this in compliance with policy 600 job evaluation. And if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay. Any thoughts or questions on the position?
Well, my thoughts is that, the purpose for this is to, the Community Development Department is a pretty good-sized department, and it handles a lot of transactions. We are not spending the kind of time and energy that we need to on the operational side. And so the hope is that by having a position like this, it will achieve 2 goals. The first one is that We will have a focus on operations, turnaround time for applications, set up standards of service that we want to have. I believe right now we would like to see a 3-week turnaround. We're closer to a 3-month turnaround. And so a position like this should be helping to turn that around much sooner, increase overall satisfaction to the citizens in this community who need the building department. And the other component to this is that it frees up the community development director to start focusing on strategy and future planning and to help future boards, along with this board, to focus on these issues that are important to the citizens in this county. And right now, I don't think that Director Callahan has had that kind of time because he's been managing to operational issues and oftentimes working directly with applicants because things haven't worked as efficiently as they could have. And so that is the hope with this, and that we will find budget neutral ways and hopefully budget savings ways to develop efficiencies from this position. So I'm for it.
Okay. Bill?
I guess I'm for it too.
Okay. So this is a 3-part process. The other 2 parts will be handled after executive session, but for this one here, I'll take a motion to approve it.
I move that we approve the initial classification for the new position of Deputy Director of Operations with Community Development.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, so we have some executive sessions here, and we'll need Captain Heil for the first one, and then we'll call anybody else in that we need to after that one is done. So I would take a motion to enter into executive session for items 3, 4, and 5, 1A and 1B.
I move that we enter into executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74-2061A and 1B.
I second the motion.
Plans to sign. Bill Brooks. Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye.
I move that we exit executive sessions 1A and 1B with no decisions made.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, item 3, additional FTE request, and this is a position that we approved earlier for community development, and it's Director of Operations. So, Reba?
We're just asking for a full-time Director of Operations, new position, may be a temporary to permanent, depending on how it works out. And HR has brought forth the job description and ratings, so we're asking for approval of that position.
So is the funding being taken care of from a position that we're eliminating, or?
No, I know we do have salary savings as far as our landscape architect. We're going on 2 years, haven't hired and two planners. We just made an offer for one.
Okay, so are we making this a temporary position then until?
Well, we discussed making it temporary to see how it went, see if it was gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, we discussed doing this for a minimum of 3 months to see how it works, and that there was salary savings because there were some open positions. And the hope is that we can develop some efficiencies that we may not even need to fill those positions. And that ultimately is the goal of this. It's not an expansion, it's a, developing these efficiencies so we can offset this cost.
Correct. And also one good thing about the individual we have is he does not use any of our benefits. So it's cost savings there. He has his own through a different source, so.
Okay. All right, then I would take a motion and probably one to review again in 3 months. So let's see, November, December, so beginning of January?
How about the beginning of February, since we're about halfway through October?
Okay, well, you said, yes, 3 months, yeah. Beginning of February would be great.
We'll bring it back February.
Yeah.
First meeting.
First
HR
HR meeting in February.
Okay. Question I have at, since it's temporary, are they then allowed to backfill the position of the individual who's going to move into the deputy director role?
If I may, on that, the person that would be filling in for this deputy director will not be going back to his previous position, so that position will need to be filled.
Okay,
If for some reason this doesn't go on, he'll be done with his employment here, so.
okay. All right, motion?
I move that we approve the additional FTE request on a temporary basis to be revisited, the first HR meeting in February of 2025, and this is in community development.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, item 4. This is regarding the new position, request to hire at market, which, do they need that permission?
Yes,
Okay.
to go, well, it'd be a promotion and it's pretty significant, like.
Gotcha, so,
7%,
Yeah, we'll-
so
Yeah.
It's important the board will get that.
okay, that makes sense.
That will just leave any internal compression.
Right.
And we are asking that this position could start on October 21st.
Okay,
I'm fine, I've looked at it. So I move that we approve the new position, request to hire at market with community development.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
All right, item 5, this is the KCSO separation and release agreement, and it would be effective October 5th? Is that what we're,
The separation is effective October 5th.
okay.
If I may suggest to the board that if they're going to approve, my suggestion is a motion that approves direction to the auditor's office to process the separation
Okay,
and to approve the agreement subject to
-8, minus section 8.
paragraph 8. with final approval on Tuesday at the business meeting.
Okay.
And that just expedite the process?
Yes.
Okay, and put on the business meeting?
Yeah, Sylvia's going to handle that.
Okay, and so that will be 22, October 22?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take a stab at it if, unless someone else insists. I move that we approve the separation and release agreement minus Section 8, backdating it to October 5th, 2024, and to request that the auditor expedite this process and that we put this item on the business meeting for October 22nd.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. Public comment. Nobody online? All right, 10:43, meeting adjourned.